teacher is one who believes that their students need saving. This teacher acts as if they're a superhero coming into a lower-income school to save the helpless children. Superheroes tend to choose to act alone, which is shown through their self-inflicted isolation. In every superhero story, they battle the villains to save the day. Likewise, in the hero-teacher story, their isolation is due to the administration, the villains, limiting their authority in the classroom. This creates the illusion that the hero-teacher doesn't need help, that the job can easily be done by themselves. They believe they're able to handle all classroom responsibility by themselves with no support from their higher-ups or peers. The students in these types of classrooms are typically from lower socioeconomic areas. Because of the lack of resources and support, these students are at a disadvantage and sometimes are unable to graduate. This does not mean they're unable to access their academic goals. However, because the hero teacher views their students with pity, they give handouts instead of allowing their students to exert effort to grow to their fullest potential. In almost every world-saving scenario, the superhero is the one who receives all the praise, taking credit for the victory when other people potentially could have helped. Likewise, in their classroom, a hero teacher believes academic success is a reflection of their own achievements and not due to their students' hard work. Their struggles are overlooked. This creates an environment in which the hero teacher takes responsibility for all progress, pushing students out of the picture. In high-poverty schools, students often have difficulties in their education due to their lack of resources, opportunities, and support. There are higher dropout and turnover rates. Typically, when stable and positive teachers aren't involved in their students' lives, they become disinterested in their own learning. However, when a teacher, the warm demander, caters to their students' emotional as well as academic needs while still upholding high expectations, students thrive in an environment that provides them the means to succeed. The warm demander builds a healthy relationship with their class, showing the students genuine interest in getting to know who they are as individuals. Culture plays an important role in every student's life, which means it's critical for a warm demander to observe what the students are passionate about and simply just what sparks their interest. By providing academic support, encouraging positive behavior, and maintaining precise expectations, the warm demander creates a supportive classroom in which students are engaged in their education. A new teacher typically is going into the field of education not having complete knowledge of every element required to run a classroom effectively. They walk into their first teaching job with preconceived expectations of how everything is going to operate. An uncertain new teacher lacks confidence in themselves when a situation arises they believe they don't know how to effectively handle. They constantly question whether or not they're making the most practical decisions in their classroom. Because the uncertain new teacher is doubtful if the students are understanding the material or how to test the students' learning progress, they unintentionally disperse hesitation in their students. Certain new teacher attempts to eliminate all uncertainty, which creates a rigid classroom. They refuse to become flexible even when they're presented with new and better ideas from administration, for example. They're too set in their own way, which allows no room for development within the classroom as well as within themselves. If a teacher is unwilling to adapt their instilled methods, the students won't be able to fully understand what is being taught because the lesson will not be catered to their learning processes. However, when a new teacher becomes increasingly assured that it's okay to make mistakes and shift instructions around as long as they're reflective afterwards, they're able to be constantly improving upon their work in the classroom. Finding the balance between relying on their own teaching ability and listening to constructive criticism is key. Being socially aware means respecting and understanding the perspectives of others, especially those who are from different cultures and backgrounds. Recently in our society, LGBTQ+ culture has become increasingly prominent and a topic openly discussed. Schools have implemented safe spaces, encouraging anti-bully policies and gay-straight alliances. This builds a comfortable learning environment where students feel empowered. Lauren Kenny, a high school teacher advocating for social change, decided to come out to her students as well as encourage discussion in her classroom about the LGBTQ+ community. She even created a queer inclusive book club to continue the conversation outside the classroom. Though not every single student was receptive, most were involved in the inclusive lessons and more aware of the social issues surrounding the LGBTQ+ community. Even though the administration had always supported Kenny's decisions as a gay teacher, she was faced with parental opposition. They not only threatened her own safety, but the safety of her students and their education. Hearing how Kenny was involving her sexuality in her classroom, the parents believed she was threatening their way of life in a community without an LGBTQ+ presence. However, she continued teaching her own way. The teacher for social change, in this case Lauren Kenny, is fighting for acceptance and respect, to transform prejudices and other harmful ways of thinking. A teacher in an inclusion classroom is able to establish effective relationships with their students by applying specific behaviors, displaying appropriate levels of assertiveness, setting up understandable and flexible learning goals, and acknowledging high-need students. Students with specialized needs require unique intervention, whether that be for behavioral or academic improvement. Due to the diverse challenges of the students in an inclusion classroom, success is achieved when the teacher forms a different but necessary dynamic in every one of their relationships with students. Inclusive teachers understand this necessity, seeing that they have experience managing classrooms and developing techniques to meet specific needs of certain students. Strategies in helping passive students include encouraging positive thoughts while minimizing focus on criticism. To combat aggressiveness, the teacher points out unexpected behavior and remains consistent with rewards and consequences. Hyperactivity is addressed by introducing concentration and calming methods. Strategies in helping inattentive students include focusing on step-by-step methods to help complete assignments. To assist students who are perfectionists, the teacher emphasizes the normality of mistakes. Students who are socially inept are taught appropriate behaviors like maintaining personal space, hygiene, and emotional expression.